Hello everybody and welcome to another Four-Eyed Theory. Today's theory will be on One Piece and it will be based on what is going to take place in order for the raid to fail. Throughout One Piece, we've had Luffy come up against formidable foes that he was unable to defeat right away. We all witnessed the struggle that he had against Crocodile, where in the first fight he completely lost. During that fight, he did realise that liquid pretty much makes Crocodile's Logia fruit ineffective, and he used that to his advantage later on. We saw how CP9 easily disposed of both Luffy and Zoro during Water 7, just for both of them to win their individual rematches during Enies Lobby. The whole of the crew just about managed to defeat one pacifista during Sabaody pre-time skip, but the monster trio easily defeated two pacifistas with one attack each on the return, although they did trade for 2 years for that. During each of these rematches, a separation and a break was needed. Crocodile thought of Luffy as dead or not worth the trouble before he came back for his second fight. During Water 7, Robin made a deal with CP9 to ensure that the Straw Hats would be kept away from harm as long as she cooperated. In Sabaody, Kuma used his pawpaw fruit to separate the Straw Hats before they were captured or utterly defeated. Even in Wano, Luffy lost to Kaido, was imprisoned by the Beast Pirates and ended up learning Rio heading into the second fight. My point is that Oda has shown time and time again a pattern of Luffy losing a fight against a strong opponent, being separated, and then coming back to just about win it. I believe that Kaido will again defeat Luffy and Cole, therefore causing the raid to fail. So a little about the raid failing. Many people in the fandom have often spoken about this possibility. Mr. Mojo has been the most notable supporter of this, and personally, the raid failing, the worst generation losing to Kaido and Big Mom, is the most logical situation under these circumstances. The Allied forces have had too much go their way, and it seems like a tragedy is just around the corner. And this corresponds with the theory that Wano will be 5 acts. In the traditional style Japanese theatre known as a kabuki, the third act almost always ends with immense drama or a tragedy. So what do I mean when I say the raid will fail? Simple, the worst generation will lose against Kaido and Big Mom, a complete defeat. When that happens, a problem arises. You now have the worst generation defeated and Kaido and Big Mom ready to end them. I don't believe that either of these yonkos will allow them to get away. I don't think Kaido will attempt to break the spirits and put them in prison the same way he done it prior with Luffy and Kid. So how can this possibly be stopped if the raid fails and the yonkos are inches away from crushing them? Enter CP0 and Toki. In chapter 1003, CP0 admit that they are hoping for the pirates to take each other out. I believe that they're waiting for the fight on the rooftop to come to an end before interfering. They will do so when they are assured that the worst generation have been defeated. They will step in and attempt to attack the alliance of Kaido and Big Mom while they are distracted. Trying to sneakily attack, as they previously mentioned, it was a good tactic. During the sneak attack, or the struggle to capture these two yonkos, Big Mom will notice that 2 of the CP0 members were people she knew from her childhood. Children that Big Mom grew up with have the same features as these CP0 villains. And from Big Mom's flashback, we became aware that children's home she was living in was used to traffic children to the world government. Once she recognizes the CP0 agents as former family members, this will spawn a reaction similar to the one that we saw in Whole Cake Island after Luffy presented her with a broken picture of her adopted mother. Big Mom loses control of her senses as she starts to remember what she did, that she actually ate her mom, and she goes on to cause havoc on Onigashima. CP0 will struggle to take control of her and will spend some time attempting to restrain her. But that theory takes care of one problem and one problem only. We still have the issue of Kaido, but this will be taken care of by Toki. The death of Toki didn't feel satisfying to me. It didn't feel as if Toki's purpose was now over. I don't think Toki was written into the story just to give birth to all his children, send a few people into the future, and for us to never hear from her again. While writing this, we still don't know who was healing the scabbards at the end of chapter 1004. But we get a clue with a quote from Kawamatsu. I feel as though I saw, but I must have been a dream, because it couldn't be possibly true. Heavily implying that the person who healed them is somebody that shouldn't have been there. We can assume that Toki knows that the worst generation would have been able to defeat Kaido if he did not have Big Mom supporting him. Realizing this, she does the only thing that she can do, and that's take Kaido into the future for a short period of time. Every devil fruit has its drawbacks and limitations. I don't think Toki is capable of moving people and objects into exactly when she wants them to if they aren't willing. I think her power is limited by the willingness of the participants. Therefore, a doubt should be able to move Kaido too far into the future, but far enough for the worst generation to be able to recover. And they will be able to recover quickly thanks to Chopper somehow manipulating the Ice Demon virus and grant the worst generation even more strength to take on Kaido. Knowing his ability a bit more, having counters ready for his attack, and not having to worry about Big Mom as she's too busy causing mayhem across the island, I would assume that the worst generation will be able to finally take them down. I would even go as far as saying that Drake, Apple, Dawkins, and either Yamato or Sanji will also be involved in this fight to fulfill the prophecy of 20 years ago that said 9 individuals will take down Kaido 20 years from now.